Hey everybody, I'm here with Alicia. She just flew in. When did you fly in?
Yesterday I arrived in Coffs Harbour at 1:05 in the afternoon.
And guess what? She lucked out. So, you know, it costs like around $10,000 if you want to get a seat from North America that actually folds down like into a bed on the airplane.
Yeah.
And the reality is that she lucked out. Tell them how you lucked out.
I lucked out. I had 2 seats empty beside me, so
Oh,
I got to sleep and lay down, and it was great. I lost no time getting here. It was
So
awesome.
yeah, so she got like a $10,000 seat.
Yeah.
Okay.
In economy. It was great.
That's something. So yeah, and I'm just going, okay, please let me have one. Because after I finish here, I go to Puerto Rico to open up the office for the BHN University and also for BraveHeart Abundance. We've set up a system for all our practitioners and anybody else, but it was mainly set up for our practitioners, but everybody's welcome on how they can get corporations there and never pay more than 4% tax. Because guess what? It's all about wealth, health, and unconditional love, isn't it? Okay? All right?
Totally.
So what's today's one a day?
It is, what are you living for?
What are you living for? What makes you get up in the morning, and how do you get up in the morning? On the wrong side of the bed, or going, listen, oh my God, the whole day is ahead. So which one?
It's a choice. The right side or the wrong side. We choose every day.
You know, you were programmed, okay, to be a Debbie Downer or a Donnie Downer. You were programmed to be that way, right? You ever hear the thing, oh, I got up on the wrong side of the bed? How do you get up on the wrong side of the bed? Would you do sleep under the bed? You know what made you decide that? Well, it's a program you've been running. People that get up on the wrong side of the bed, it's just a program, okay? All right, if it's just stubbing your toe that ruins your whole day, oh my God, what are you living for?
We all have a choice with how we view the world, and we've all been programmed to view the world with the worst possible outcome. What's wrong? The glass is half empty. It's like, no, you can choose to see it for everything that's beautiful. And as you start to recognize the beautiful things, you see more beautiful things, and that comes to your life. You resonate with the beauty of life instead of resonating with the faults of life.
Do you know why I do things that are totally outrageous? Do you know why I look for the outrageous? Do you know why I try to look for things that people go, whoa, really? Are you crazy? Well, guess what? You better get your crazy on. You can be insanely happy on this planet, or you can be insanely miserable. And we've all been insanely miserable. And understand, is that a choice?
It is totally a choice, because it's what you choose to focus on. Your attention is like taking a magnifying glass to the sun and condensing that ray. Your attention is that ray, so focus it on the things that are beautiful and what you desire, and take massive personal action to fulfill your desires, because really it's the same law is always working for us, whether you choose to empower yourself or you choose to disempower yourself.
Imagination is the spark of all creation, and that which created the universe has the biggest imagination. Okay, well, we can't really talk about how big it is. It's just beyond my ability to even think about that. But the reality is this: I gave my imagination away, and I know when it was. Okay, I was 6 years old, and I got spanked for something that I did not do. And also, when I was 6 years old, I would get in trouble because I would daydream about beautiful things in school, because school sucks. And the reality is that my parents were programmed, like every other parent was programmed. And so I gave it up when I was around 6 or 7 years old, and that's the God's truth. And I'll tell you something, I got it back around the age of 23, and I've never given it up, and I've been in trouble ever since then. You know, the thing is that if you want to understand what life is really about, then you got to understand inside yourself and take power and make yourself first and foremost before anyone else or anything else. So help me God. Go ahead, make your family first. Why don't you just go and make your daughter first all the time? So what has changed? I want to ask you, you started with us how long ago? 2 years ago?
Yeah,
About
like in the library. Library, yeah.
Okay,
And
so
taking the
what's
classes.
changed since you've become a master trainer? She's a master trainer now. And understand something, I'll tell you something right now. Most of the people there that have gone to school for 4 years to become a naturopathic doctor, she'll kick your butt all the way around the corner, because it's not how much you learn, it's what you learn, okay, that empowers people. And the reality is this: knowledge is power if it's actually knowledge. I mean, people will say, oh my God, he knows so much or she knows so much, but what good is it? What good is it? You know what I mean? Most people have been taught, hey, go tighten that screw with a hammer. I mean, you can't do that. So how have you changed in what you live for now the way you were 2 years ago?
What has really changed are the questions I ask myself. They're always about how am I growing and what do I really desire, and then what are the steps to take to get that. Like, I knew lots about health, but my way of thinking didn't always honor my health and longevity. So my perspective has totally changed, and the possibilities that I see have totally changed, because I was always putting self-limiting beliefs in the way of like, well, I could never do that, or it doesn't matter. And I know now it does matter, and I can create a better life for my daughter.
Can I break in?
Yes.
Her parents taught her the best that they had to offer. And she never questioned what her parents taught her, because you're supposed to respect your elders even if they teach you the most dumbass stuff.
Yeah, because they weren't conscious of it.
You can't use the same personality if you wish a different reality. So you have to get rid of belief systems that you got in school, from your parents, from your peers, and it's no disrespect.
No.
You know, I want the best for my children, so I know that they have to get rid of a lot of beliefs that I taught them before I woke up. I know that. Okay, for my children, adult children, to be different than me, okay, and is what I want. I don't want them to be me. I want them to be better than me, but be themselves and find their authentic selves. You know, only 1 out of 10,000 people actually find their authentic selves on this planet. This morning I was sitting right here, and there was a gentleman walking with his dog and his wife, and I said, hey, have the best day of your life. And he goes, yeah, I will. I just quit my job after 40 years, and now that I'm retired, I can start living. And holy crap, quit your job, go dust off your passion and your purpose, okay? Go dust off your passion and your purpose right now. Oh no, I'm scared to do that. You know what? When I was younger, you know, my parents, all they fought about was money and bills. And money and bills. Lori and I will never fight about money and bills. We welcome the bills. The bills are because we're getting things, doing things. We're making things happen. And the reality, you would never have a money problem if you didn't dishonor and disrespect yourself. And I'm telling you that right now. And I'm going to tell you something too. You don't need to go to school to know how to make money. You need to find your authentic self and ask yourself, what can I gift the world with? Well, you're not going to gift the world with anything until you become the gift to yourself.
You have to learn how to empower yourself on a nutritional level, an emotional level, and a physical level. Our bodies are meant to stay moving, and so many of us sit and are stagnant. And then we're feeding ourselves food-like products that are truly poison and affecting our blood chemistry and creating an environment for disease. And then there's a lot of emotional constipation, because we've been taught to judge other people. And what we need to do
we've been taught to judge ourselves. We're never good enough. That's why we judge others.
This is true.
You stop judging yourself, you'll stop judging others. I get on here and I get judged. Yesterday, Dr. Wolf's in a cult. Dr. Wolf wants your money. Dr. Wolf collects women. I don't even know what that means. The reality is mostly women come to my courses because men, they haven't learned how to open up, and they don't understand that you got to become heart smart and love yourself first before you can love anybody properly.
You really do have to love yourself before you can love anyone properly. Otherwise, you will take everything personally. When you begin to honor yourself, there will be people who will take it personally, and it's not personal. It's literally about
love them anyway.
Your own self-growth.
Love them anyway.
Love them anyway. And really, for me, I want to be the change I want to see, which is to see more people empowering themselves and nourishing their bodies, so that we're all acting from a place of unconditional love, instead of being critical of one another, just because it's like a rebound reaction. It's a circle that doesn't end until you go within.
Just know this, we've got 29 people, we've got room for one more, we probably won't fill it, and that would be 30 in the class. And I'm going to tell you something, we'll have people come on and give you testimonials. But Alicia and I, we know what we are, we know who we are, and we know what we want, and we're going to rock this whole life coach class. We're going to crack the coconut of 29, 30 people. They're going to tell you that by the third or fourth day that they truly went inside themselves and found out that that's where the light was. That's where the gift was. That's where the answer was. It wasn't out here. You got to find it in there, because once you find it in there, you will know that, guess what? You will not buy into any of the BS belief systems of this world, whether it's climate change or the V or the C or the city or all of these garbage things they're coming out with. And understand something. Watch how the BraveHeart Nation moves about the world and creates a better world, no matter what they threaten us with. Because guess what? I've been threatened all my life, for God's sakes. And you know what? If you want to live your life's purpose, then you'll be the minority, which means you're going to have the majority saying that you are a rebel, you're dangerous. Well, guess what? That's right. We're dangerous. We're dangerous in the way that we disturb people. Okay? We disturb their belief systems.
The people that are programmed, right? They've been programmed from a young age, again, to be so focused outside of themselves, they can't see that it's the world within that creates what you see out here. So when you focus on balancing your emotions and connecting with what you desire, because lots of times we desire one thing, but we don't believe we can have it. So that's creating those lower vibrational emotions and that the domino effect of just stinking thinking.
What's your chokehold? What are you scared of? Who are you scared of? What are you scared of? I'm telling you, I'm not scared of anything. And I'm not telling you that, and I don't go out and cause trouble. I'm not looking for a fight. I'm not going to fight for anything. I'm going to fight for you. I'm going to fight for you to find the love within inside yourself, and that you need to become heart smart and fill up your heart yourself and not rely on your family, your parents, or your children, or the world, or your dog, okay? That you need to learn how to love yourself. And let me tell you something. What kind of plans do you have for yourself? What kind of things actually excite you and scare you a little bit? If you don't have that, you don't have living. Let me tell you, I was on this morning with Tracy, and Tracy is a practitioner out of Winnipeg, Canada. And so she's got a patient there. He's laying in bed, and he's not an older man, but he's already old. You're old if you don't have an imagination. You're old if you have never learned how to find yourself or discover yourself. You're already old. Okay, and people say it sucks to get old. No, it sucks to not have an imagination. It sucks to eat and drink and think like everybody else, because that's why you're stiff, inflamed. That's why you're puffy. Okay, that's why you can't even think anymore, because your brain is dehydrated like a beef jerky, because you're inflaming it all the time. Because guess what? You believe they're bullshit, that they're coming for us.
Your blood is thick and it won't feed your tissues when you're in a stressed out state and when you're poisoning yourself.
And this gentleman was laying in bed, and guess what? He was only a few years older than me. And I said, so anyways, he's got a tumor. He's got a tumor on his prostate. Okay, and I said, well, can he still walk? Yes, he can. He's got a catheter, but he'll get up and get into his wheelchair, and then from his wheelchair, he'll get into his bed. If you can get into your wheelchair, you can get back into your bed, what are you doing? Well, I'll tell you what you're doing. God love him anyway. He gave up on his life, okay? So what happened? I don't know. Maybe he believed he wasn't worth loving. That would be the first thing. Okay, what made him get depressed? Because somebody else didn't love him enough, didn't buy into him, and that's the reality. We put the responsibility of the world to love us and to make us feel like we have worth and we have value. Oh my God, if I did that, I wouldn't have any of this. I wouldn't be in Australia. I wouldn't have Alicia. I wouldn't have BraveHeart Nation. I wouldn't have the clinics I have. I wouldn't be going to Puerto Rico to open up the university. I wouldn't have any of this if I didn't love and care for myself. Loving and caring for yourself will be the most important thing you ever do. And when you do it, your family, your friends, and the world will say that you're disrespecting them, because they're not used to that. Let me tell you something right now. This guy, okay, who's in bed, he could get up and get rid of the wheelchair. We have the knowledge, don't we?
Absolutely.
Let me tell you something right now. There's no such thing as irreversible. There's only such thing as I am possible, not impossible. So you can believe whatever you want from the medical system, the dental system, the governmental system, or any other system out there.
The systems don't want you to know how powerful you are. That's what I realized. My mission and my purpose is to show everyone the light you truly are and what's possible when you learn to honor and respect yourself, especially on the nutritional level, because it's polluted our brains.
And you know what? We're not against any of these systems. They're not going away and they're not broken. So don't try to fix them.
They're not broken.
They do what they're supposed to do.
They were designed that way.
And I don't hate them. I don't dislike them. The reality is they were set up, okay? This is planet Earth, a life-threatening, fun-filled adventure, and they're never going away. And the reality is are you capable of loving and caring for yourself when the world says you're not worth it? That's the bottom line. That's all it is. It's just a game. You're not worth it. Okay? And as far as the rest of you go, you know what? Wait until you see this, because they're trying to destroy the financial system to bring in the digital, which is coming, whether we like it or not. But I'll never get chipped, but the digital system is coming. And I don't know how you're going to stop it, but you can complain all day if you want. But the reality is this, what people don't get is, why don't we do what they do? And guess what? We cracked the code in Puerto Rico. If you want to learn about that, you'll go to BraveHeartNation.com, click on the Abundance tab, and understand something. I'm not getting anything out of this. I cracked the code. And I'm going to crack the code on an emotional, physical, nutritional level every day for the rest of my life. And I am going to share it with all my brothers and sisters. So whether somebody thinks I'm cocky or they like me, they don't like me, they love you, that doesn't matter. We were here to see if we could unconditionally love and care for ourselves when the world says you aren't worth it. Well, guess what? I am worth it. I am worth loving myself, caring for myself, feeding myself properly, watering myself properly, thinking properly, and guess what? Never judging another human being again, because the systems aren't leaving. Okay? I need to look after this system, and I need to understand that the only system that matters is the universal system, the planets. Okay? If you were to understand the solar system, you would understand if there was one religion, it would be the solar system. Okay, we came from there, we're going to return to there, and the solar system is what runs everything on this planet, because everything runs in cycles. Everybody's complaining right now because of the fires. Well, they were bloody well started. And the other thing is guess what? If you were to do your homework, why don't you go and see somebody who does cycles for a living, okay, checks out the cycles and goes back 10,000 years. You'd find out that, guess what? It's actually a little cooler right now around the world than it was with the cycles, and it's actually going to get a little hotter, and it's got nothing to do with climate change. Okay, the reality is this. Do you think that maybe you could just mind your own business and have the best day of your life and put on a slight smile, put on a love band, and snap that love band every time you smell some BS or hear it, and just really be connected to yourself and love yourself?
That is the most important thing. For your mind is the center of divine creation. The law of this realm, this planet, it's always working for you. The trick is become conscious of it, make it work for you.
Okay, so yeah. I always like to comment here.
Yeah.
So you obviously don't believe in the Lord Jesus Christ. Well, guess what? Where did I say I didn't? I was born and raised a born-again Christian. My father was a born-again Christian pastor. I didn't say that. Do I believe in everything that my father taught me? No. Do I believe in Jesus Christ? Yes. Do I believe in Buddha? Yes. Do I believe in a lot of other things? Do I believe in everybody down here, that we were all created by the same creator? Absolutely. But I am never going to jump on one religious cart in my life again. Do I believe that Jesus died for our sins? Absolutely not. I believe that Jesus was murdered trying to teach unconditional love on this planet. And you can turn the story, but guess what? And then you can say, well, you're going to hell right now, Dr. Wolf. Understand, I'm trying to get everybody out of emotional hell. I'm trying to tell everyone that they should have unconditional love for themselves. And when they make a mistake, observe and learn, and don't burn. Don't take yourself to hell, because hell and heaven only are on this planet, and they're in here.
Judgment jail.
You want to judge? You go to jail.
That is the hell.
And you go ahead and judge me, but guess what? Well, you're not liking me today because my beliefs don't match yours. Just remember, you're the one that's getting constipated. You're the one that's getting acid reflux. Understand something. I love you no matter what religion you have. I love you no matter what beliefs you have. I love you no matter if you love me, care for me, or you think I'm going to that fiery pit, wherever that is, which is only in here.
Yeah, if all of us learned to love and care for ourselves, the places where we see the system is broken, the system would fall apart because there'd be nothing supporting it anymore. The thing is that they've stolen our consciousness, and that's what feeds the system. So take it back for yourself and learn that the way you spend your dollars is how you're voting. It's not going out and voting for your leaders, your government. They've just stolen that energy from us. So take it back. Learn about your body. Discover the science of health. Instead of our medical system, they reverse engineer disease just to try and suppress the symptom. And that affects our consciousness as well.
Why don't you write your own story?
Yeah.
Why don't you right now just go outside or go somewhere where it's peaceful, beside a river, or where you hear the birds tweeting or the waves coming in, and sit down with a pen and paper and get rid of every bloody story that you've been told from the beginning of time and write your own story. Because I'm going to tell you, that which created the universe said, I don't care what story you tell, just don't put yourself in hell. And if you do, that's up to you, but don't let them screw you over. That's it. Yeah. Listen, you can't comment on here and think that I'm not going to comment back, because I do not judge anyone. You do know there's 4,500 prominent religions. There's over 100,000 in the world. And guess what? I approve of them all. Are you having a beautiful day? Are you healthy? Okay. Do you feel love right now for everyone else in the world? Just know this, we're starting our course tomorrow, and it will be 9 days.
9 days.
Yeah, and Alicia will be helping me, and we're going to rock that course. We are not going to go in and we are not going to tell any of the stories that have been told right up until now. We're going to tell everyone that they should write their own story of glory, of love, and fill up their heart. And we want everyone to leave there, okay, never having to forgive themselves or anyone else again. You think about that. I don't want them practicing forgiveness. I want them practicing unconditional love for everyone and minding their own business and going where they believe that they can live to the greatest of their imagination.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So we'll be here for 9 days with the Whole Life Coach, 1 day off. We still have 4 spots left for the Wolf Non-Surgical. It is the most powerful body work. Go check it out at BraveHeartNation.com. And then there'll be a 1 day off, and then it will be what?
The Women's Pelvic Restoration and Disease Prevention Masterclass, which is just 3 days, but it is the most powerful course that a woman will take for connecting to her divine, sacred femininity. Just an area and an energy we've been cut off from for so long. You'll value yourself in a totally new way and learn so much about your feminine parts.
I'm going to say one last thing because I'm not a scaredy cat. Do you believe in an afterlife, Dr. Wolf? Well, for one thing, I believe that I'll give up this suit, this meat suit. But energy never dies. And if we actually knew real science, you would know that you are a spirit being. You were created by the same creator as everyone else. So, but whatever, if you want to come down here and pick a new story, go right ahead. And the reality is that as long as I'm here, I will love myself unconditionally and everyone else. And guess what? What I will do is I will use my imagination, and guess what? The sky will not be the limit for that. My belief systems are the limit for that, and I will have no limit on my belief systems. And if you don't believe me, why don't you follow me, okay, for the next, let's say, 15, 20 years that I've still got left on this planet, and just take a look at how I flow through. When I'm being attacked by people, I will love them anyway. And understand something, and I will continue no matter what roadblocks get in front of me. I will stop, I will breathe, I will not react and attack. And if and if I also have to make a quick right-hand turn because that which knows better than me, which is my creator, I will do it. I will make a plan, but I will change a plan because I know that if I don't pivot and give it in a time when they call this the harvest, okay, I might get run over by a tractor. All right?
Worse.
Or worse. Just know this, we love you no matter what you think, no matter what you say. I just want you to have the best day of your life. Let me say this. Let's see if you can let yourself off the hook for everything for the rest, for 24 hours. Not have one negative thought about yourself or about the world, and not open your mouth and say one negative thing. Okay? And understand, did you ever notice people, when they say something, they start off with something positive, and then at the end they put a little tail on it that turns around and it whips them. Okay? No whipping. No whipping today.
Fear, resentment, anger, worry, they all tear down the cells of the body and reduce function. So when we're in that state, why do we have more disease than any time in history right now? Because there's more fear and judgment than I think for a long time.
Well, life is a movie, and you bought into their movie, and you think it's reality. And the reality is you need to change your personality.
Yes.
The reality is Netflix is there for a distraction. The reality is source sports. The reality is why do you think there's a liquor store everywhere? Why do you think there's a corner store everywhere? Why do you think that you can't, that if you want to go and have a really great meal, you can't walk 1 minute. You've got to drive 20. And I will drive 20 because guess what? I love myself plenty.
Yes.
All right. You have a beautiful day.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. You got this.
3, 2, 1. We got this when we come together, Bravehearts. God bless.